Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
We don't care, we're about to swear on the air. It's the after the show, so tune in if you dare. KVJ, get risque every single day. It's uncensored. We can say what we want to say.
Well, here we go. Happy Wednesday. I was talking to you just a minute ago on the regular show. Yes, which is the KVJ show member that is under fire for their job. Well, at least according to some messages that are coming in here. Who do you think it might be?
I'm a betting man. I'm going to go with Vicious V.
Yeah, it's Virginia.
But
why? Was there something she said that you thought?
Today she was just normal crazy. Nothing sticks out that was overly offensive, although we were talking about, you did hit some hot topics about some of the roles in movies that might have gotten some people angry.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But she could have given out terrible advice to someone for a relationship scenario.
Gotcha. Okay. Who do you think it might be, Virginia, if you had any thoughts?
I'm hoping it's me. Bring it,
okay.
bitch.
Okay, if it was Kevin, why would it be Kevin?
Oh, it would never be Kevin.
No, it could be. I've had every now and then say something that...
He's too safe.
No.
But Kevin does get hate, though. He does.
I do.
A lot of times, though, he gets unsolicited hate about his looks, which isn't cool.
Oh.
Yeah, that's usually what people hate me for, is my appearance.
But no, I see people go after you sometimes for your opinions.
Yeah.
Or your thoughts.
Yeah, every now and then. I say, bring it too. Here is a series of texts that we got towards the end of the show. Regular show. It says, Virginia just said that people making prank videos should be physically attacked. Fire this woman. She's disgusting. She's using your channel to spread the idea that because someone does something that isn't nice, that they should be physically attacked. She's what's wrong with this country today, and so are you if you let her stay. Back to XM radio for me.
Go. No one's going to miss you, asshole.
How come everyone always says that when they always throw that last back to XM?
Go. There's the door.
Text number 2. Physical violence against others because you don't like what they say or do, even if they are mean, is not justification. It's the breakdown of our society. Your DJ is promoting violence against others for being mean. Yeah. Now, I don't know if they wanted to say the same thing twice or they didn't realize that we could check the number and we realize it's the same person saying the same thing. Maybe it's like, oh, it's a wave of text messages coming in.
Do you know how I know?
It's a wave of one.
Do you know how I know this is a new listener? It's because they're calling her a DJ.
Well, I think text 3 kind of gives us a little bit more perspective as to what the grounding is on this.
Quite the saga.
Text number 3, they sent it, said, my family and I have listened to WRMF since the days of Kevin Kitchens. I have XM that I listen to occasionally. But after today, I'm not listening to you, and I'm switching to XM full time. That's the same number that texts that in. Finally, they didn't go to XM. They actually kept listening. Because they heard the follow-up comments that we made about somebody getting blasted and, their job being called for. And they text back on the same number, quote, this bad broadcasting will continue tomorrow, whether we like it or not. A quote from Virginia. So people getting upset for her call to violence is a joke?
Yes.
That's verbatim. So they were so upset they were
they couldn't even type right.
They couldn't even believe it. They're like trying to text while hitting XM, and it's so difficult to do.
Hate listening, we will take it.
Hate listening, it helps.
Oh, it helps greatly. We don't give a fuck why you listen.
There you go, another one to XM. So thank you, Virginia.
We lost another one?
Another one.
No, we didn't. They stuck around.
Oh,
and they're probably figuring out, what is a podcast? I got to hear what they're going to say about this. I know they're going to mock me.
If they knew that you were talking about it right now, they would be tuned in.
And I double down. I stand by my statement. Any asshole kid that gives a homeless guy an Oreo cookie with toothpaste in it, and that homeless guy gets sick, that kid should be bitch slapped, then punched, then kicked in the dick. Want some more?
Again, Virginia's opinions do not necessarily reflect the rest of the KVJ show.
Thank you, Kevin.
I'll be happy to be the one that administers said violence to said punk-ass
Mama.
YouTube kid, too.
Mama, get some water. Get some water in
How
here.
dare you?
Me?
Yeah.
Me? I'm trying to calm your crazy
You
ass
can't
down.
stop this.
Believe me, I know. Is that how you and Panda fight?
No.
I was going to say, that poor son of a bitch.
Got an email here that says, just want to throw an idea at you. When you played the KVJ song this morning, I thought Kevin said the KVJ Hate Zone. I quickly realized it was a song, but it made me email you to maybe do a segment of hate emails in the ATS with the explicit language. Sure, most people will just send hate mail emails as a joke, but it may be hilarious. Have a great day, Pizzle fan.
Pizzle!
Yeah. Some of the ones, yes, I like it. It's we're getting some creative writing in some of the hateful comments that we get. The ones Virginia get, I think, still mean it, but some of the other ones, I think people are doing it for fun and games and all that.
Yeah, the way the hater scale goes, Virginia definitely has the most haters. I am absolutely second. Then Kevin. Then Suits, surprisingly, because of his traffic reports. And then Denny's.
There was a lot today about Suits. They said he sounded like a broadcaster from the 30s. They said he's got nice tone, but he talks too fast.
There's an accident on 95, see?
Yeah, see?
It's going to be all backed up, see?
Suits, don't listen
So if
to...
you're out there in your Model T today, be very careful.
Read all about it.
Extra, extra.
Don't listen-
This just in.
Don't listen to this shit, Suits. I think you rock it. I think you rock the traffic. I like the 1920s style traffic.
Hello, we need to have can we do Suits' traffic bed
There's a
in
traffic
ragtime?
There's a traffic jam on 95.
Traffic.
Oh.
Look and see here. Lauren sent an email, said I was listening to Monday's ATS and was cracking up at Virginia talking about Magnolia's friends, especially the boy that she said was mimicking her. Remind me of the movie This Is 40 featuring Leslie Mann and Paul Rudd. There's a scene where Leslie Mann's character thinks that a boy at school is bullying her daughter. And she goes down to the school to confront him. She calls this little middle school boy all sorts of names and makes fun of the way he looks to the point that he actually starts crying. Then she feels terrible about it. The movie is all about a married couple trying to navigate life with their 2 teen and preteen daughters and how everything is changing. It is funny and dramatic at times. I think Virginia would enjoy this movie if she hasn't seen it already.
They call it the sort of sequel to Knocked Up.
Is that the one where the parents get arrested?
No.
Oh.
No, it's the sort of
Yeah.
part 2 of Knocked Up. It's the same characters, Paul Rudd and Leslie Mann's character.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
there's drama in there. It's a Judd Apatow movie. It's pretty long, lengthy.
Yeah.
So it's Knocked Up, but there's no Katherine Heigl?
It's not. Yeah, no Catherine. It's like they dub it as the sort of sequel of Knocked Up.
Gotcha.
That's it. So they got rid of Katherine Heigl, which I don't think any of them like, so
They
Yeah.
did not like her.
That was a good move. Not likable.
they left it with that. We got an email, Heather, from Stewart, said, I got to say the whole Virginia not licking the windshield was BS. She licked a friggin' windshield. That's disgusting. I couldn't believe she did it. Riggy should have never made a poll for that crap. Give the woman her pass back. Usually love you all, but not today, Riggy.
Truth has been spoken.
Man, people really are just losing their shit
A
over
lick is a lick.
I ended the show saying I think the witch did pay off
Oh,
her.
shut the fuck up. Your damage had been done.
Oh, get out of here.
At that point, it was too late.
You know how Ricky
All
get...
your minions, your minions with tiny brains and tiny penises,
No.
they all voted.
No,
I know how Riggy and the piggy work.
Honestly, more of my minions are chicks, not dicks. I'm telling you.
What?
Guys.
Okay.
Yeah, guys are my haters. No. I had nothing to do with that loss.
So guys hate me and you?
Yes. Absolutely.
Who do they like?
They sort of like Kevin. Kind of, not really.
It's not passionate. It's just
Until,
They're like, well,
he's just there.
he's the skinniest fat guy.
Yeah, he's just there.
Skinniest fat guy. Kevin's got a great body.
I think it's,
I'm just kidding.
It's an analogy, I believe.
Yes.
I'll take it
okay.
as
Meant
an
nothing about
analogy.
his
Okay,
Girth.
I'm dumb.
Yes. I can't wait to check out the Fat Kevin song. That is out
Is
there.
it out?
It is out. I don't know. Maybe we should give it a spin right now.
I would
Should
like to hear
Should we do it
it.
now or should we save it?
You can save it. It's 4 minutes long. It's a 4 minute clocks in right at 4 minutes.
I kind of want to hear it.
It's a buckle up.
Okay. What do you think, Virginia?
I mean...
okay, and if... I guess, what's the worst? If
I got the time. If you got the time,
I got the time.
let's do this.
Let's
if
do it.
you're not feeling it, you can
No,
be like,
let's do it.
Yeah, okay.
If we don't feel it, can we hit the like on America's Got Talent?
Yeah, you can be like, I've had enough.
Oh, that's fucked.
You hear the buzzer.
Yeah.
Okay.
You better brought your A game. I got my buzzer.
I didn't.
Okay, so you say this is your Bohemian Rhapsody.
It is. And me and Denny's were, for 2 weeks is all we've done. We put everything else on the shelf.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is it. So this is the
But-
culmination of 2 weeks of hard work.
Promise me we can at least, whether you like the song or not, will you at least do the video with me?
The video? Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I gave you some photos, which those are...
They're on YouTube. The Fat Kevin
Photos
photos.
are unbelievable. Yeah,
Have you
they're-
seen
they're
these
some of the
photos?
worst photos I've ever taken. in my
No,
life.
you've got to work the photos into the video.
We are.
Okay.
So right now on
Yeah.
YouTube, it's just the song with the 4 videos playing, the 4 pictures playing back to back.
Yeah.
But there's one of Fat Kevin. He's drinking this big old glass of soda. He looks
Yeah.
so happy.
Oh yeah, no, I had one. I was eating pizza in one of them.
Who's your boy?
That was Dan Starner.
Was that your
Yeah.
best friend?
No, he's a good friend at the time. Yeah, he lived in my neighborhood, and
He was a slow eater. That's why Kevin liked him.
yeah, I'm trying to think if we had any Dan stories.
Kevin could get more of the food.
He wouldn't finish his food.
yeah.
Yeah,
We do that to my little sister.
That was it. I could eat a lot faster than he did. Okay, so this is the Fat Kevin anthem, Bohemian Fat City is the name of this.
Oh.
Okay. So here we got.
Fat Kevin is gone, and I want to cry. Fat Kevin, where's Fat Kevin? Thunder thighs with a pair of beady eyes. Fat Kevin, where's Fat Kevin? They used to call you names like Bubba Chunks and Fatso. But Fat Kev, you need to know that you're my hero. There once was a boy who loved Chips Ahoy, and Fat Kevin was his name. When it came to eating cakes and drinking milkshakes, he put all other fat kids to shame. Fat Kevin, will you please come back? Fat Kevin, please take half of my Big Mac. Fat Kevin, let me spoon feed you snacks. I love you so much, Fat Kevin. Fat Kevin, I love you so much, Fat Kevin. Fat Kevin, oh how I need you in my life, Fat Kevin.
What I can see, it's like Bohemian Rhapsody
It's
here.
Denny's in the background vocals.
Listen up, I have a confession. Fat Kevin's become an unhealthy obsession. I'm over here shedding tears cause we haven't heard from Fat Kevin in years. I can still feel his presence in the air. You were Fat Kevin first before you got new hair. You were a warrior of snacks. What do I gotta do to get Fat Kevin back? Fat Kevin, show your fat face if you dare. Your stomach's crumbling. You're hungry as hell. Fat Kevin, will you meet me at Taco Bell? Do you miss onion rings? Do you miss Burger King? Do you want chicken wings? I'll feed you everything. I know that you want a chocolate croissant. I know that it taunts your every dream. You are my everything, my Fat Kevin. Fat Kevin Ralston used to be chubby, but now Kevin Ralston's nothing but sluggy. Fat Kevin Ralston was off the chain, but modern day Kevin's got a
puny brain.
I miss Fat Kevin.
Oh, please.
Cause Fat Kevin drank soda and he ate.
Grilled cheese. Mr. Perfect, Kevin.
Doesn't like eating snacks from 7-Eleven.
He is Mr. Damnity. He really is.
It's sad because Fat Kev was such a sweet kid. Fat Kevin used to eat at buffets, but now
His little beady eyes are just sparkling away.
Fat Kevin vanished out of thin air. Right now, modern day Kev.
He thinks he's king here.
Fat Kevin was filled with love, but the modern day Kevin's only filled with smug.
Oh my God.
Fat Kevin, you're more magical than a healthy set of unicorn testicles. I wanna force feed you till your stomach's full. I miss my Fat Kevin. I love my Fat Kevin.
It's a rock opera with a gong.
It's beautiful.
It is. It's a rock opera about a fat kid.
So that's what me and Denny's have been doing for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. That's where he's been. He's been in the lab.
And me and Denny's did a little project on Sunday morning, and I was like, hey, you want to get a sandwich after? He's like, I can't. I got to go do the Fat Kevin song. Like, he couldn't do anything else.
He was a prisoner to that song.
Booked.
We put it all.
It's been created.
We put it all out there for you, Fat Kevin.
Okay. Yeah, you did. You gave me your all. It's like 8 songs in one.
Yeah, it
It's
was.
an epic song. It's fantastic. Talking about food here, Ian sent an email in, said, yeah, I got a question about Jaybird's food habit himself. Since Jaybird orders multiple orders for his takeout, does he eat all the food he orders? Or does he waste the food? I hope he doesn't feed the leftovers to Chewy. She's very curious as to what happens to all that food you order.
So I definitely do not feed any table scraps to Chewy. He can't have it because he's got issues.
Yeah, he's a plus-size dog. He does not need people food.
Every now and then he'll get a small piece of crust, and that is few and far between. But no table food for Chewy. I'll either, if my dad is staying with me, I'll give him some of the leftovers, or I'll give some to my sister, or I will walk it over to Denny's and Jen.
Okay, so you share the love.
Absolutely.
Share the food.
I'm a big fan of sharing food. I think that brings people together.
Okay. Well, Virginia, on the regular show, she went off today and was spouting off violence, and I thought it wasn't going to happen until I got to this story about Scott Peterson, who I think Virginia, at the same time when we brought this up, right after the shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas and they started investigating him, she went off on a diatribe, which people are like, going, I think that was a little unnecessary.
Whatever. That guy's a joke.
I was really surprised. See, this came out of nowhere for me yesterday, but it was one of the biggest stories, and still today, I think one of the most talked about stories. To catch you up very quickly, if you don't know the reference here, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, last Valentine's Day, shooting, 17 children lose their life. There is a school safety officer that it is their duty to make sure that these kind of things don't happen, like school shooters. And
He's the only guy on the whole campus with a gun.
Yeah.
The only guy who could have stopped it.
And video came out showing him just kind of chilling. That was kind of the problem that had happened. 48 minutes he was outside in the video that they showed, hiding, and he even directed other law enforcement who arrived at the scene to try to stop it, saying, no, stay back, about 500 feet away from the building. So they really did their due diligence. 184 witnesses that they interviewed. They reviewed countless hours of video surveillance, 212 investigative reports, more than 800 hours of investigation. And after coming to all of that, they wound up charging him with a whole bunch of stuff. Now, he could be landing in prison for up to 97 years for the charges. 7 felonies, 4 misdemeanors, including child neglect, culpable negligence, and perjury. I guess I just didn't see that coming. I know everybody had their comments about him being a coward. I mean, even President Trump had sounded off about it. The governor had sounded off about it. The sheriff, Scott Israel, he lost his job because of it. He's been fighting, trying to get that back. And then they also wound up, another guy got canned because he was outside dilly-dallying a little bit, put on his bulletproof vest and hid for 10 minutes. So another guy kind of went down, but I don't know if he got charges. And the question I had was, okay, wow, will this really go off? And so that's kind of the debate today is, okay, will Scott Peterson see jail time? I mean, because, if he's convicted of this kind of stuff, he's looking at probably the rest of his life. He's like 56 now, something like that.
I'm sorry. I don't feel bad for the guy. He's the only guy that could have stopped it. And he stood outside, and he knew he was the guy that could have stopped it. Like, what else are you there for? If not to take that gun and stop the loss of life in that school building, what else are you there for?
Well, the one thing that I was curious as to whether or not they would get him on, and I think the reason why Scott Israel had lost his job was there was something that was written, I think, in the Broward Sheriff's Code. It was something about going into a building, and I think it was must, and Sheriff Scott Israel changed that word must to may. So it became like an option. It wasn't like an obligatory command. Just that one word flipped it from mandatory to, if you're feeling it, kind of thing. Because I was talking to, I got a buddy of mine that's PBSO, and he's all about Scott Israel getting canned, and he's not a fan of Scott Peterson. He's like, yeah, he gets everything he deserves. Coming to him, he said, because I know I wear the badge, I do this kind of stuff. He's like, it's just not what you do. He said,
he's a must kind of guy. He's not a may kind of guy.
You don't sign up for this job like going in and saving lives is optional. It's just, he said, you have to be wired that you just take over and you wouldn't care. It'd be damned. Your boss could be standing in front of you saying, don't go in there.
And you go.
Yeah.
Because there's children in there.
Yeah, and the issue with the Scott Peterson was, there wasn't a lot of time to really save the 11 people that were shot on the ground level. But what had happened was the shooter then went upstairs. And I've even told you that story about my daughter. She coached a girl in softball, and her brother was the freshman that ran into the shooter. And the shooter told me, and he was reloading, and he was heading to the third floor. And he told me, he's like, if you want to live, you better get out of here. And the kid took off. Wow. And he didn't shoot him.
Oh, my gosh.
But
Can you imagine?
Yeah, and I think he had been nice to that kid, and so they were kind of friends. And so he was like, if you don't want to die, get out of here, because I'm reloading, getting ready to go. And that was it. He then reloaded at that point, goes upstairs, and then he kills more people that were on the third floor. And that's where they're saying if Scott Peterson would have done something, maybe on the bottom floor, nothing, but there were lives that were lost up there. And then, of course, the parents are like, yeah, this guy needs to fry for it. So
I agree with the parents.
Well, I think it's going to be an interesting case because, unfortunately, we just keep seeing shootings that are happening, and it will put an onus to anyone who stands guard anywhere. And that will be the thing. If lives are lost, I think whoever is there and responsible, the scene for safety, they will really look over what they did and say, okay, did they do everything they were supposed to do? So it's going to be an added burden on anybody there to say, okay, I can face criminal charges if I don't do my job properly. I mean, imagine that. All the time we come in here, don't do our job properly, but we don't face criminal charges because of it.
Well,
in prison time.
If lives are on the line and you're the one guy who's been entrusted to keep those children safe, you've got to be the guy that runs towards the gunfire.
Yeah.
You of course do it smart, but you don't stand at the door and tell other people with guns not to go in either. Like, that's just beyond thinking rational to me.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see where this case winds up legally. I know in South Florida, basically anybody you talk to is applauding this move. And he wound up getting fired, too. He still, I think, was somehow employed. So that was part of it, was he was finally officially fired. And they say that his pension is also in question. He was getting like $8,000 a month. So he might be losing that. Yeah, he hightailed it out of South Florida. He's got a house now in North Carolina, so he got the hell out of here, which about the only thing you could do if you were him. But yeah, they had his mugshot, and he looked very sad in it. So be interesting to see what happens with that. But that was a huge story from yesterday. Somebody else wants some civil help here. Pamela said, we live on a street that allows for extreme speeding, especially late at night and early morning. It's awful and so dangerous. How do I request the city to place speed bumps on the road? Is there anything I can do?
That's a great question.
Yeah, that is. I think it probably would take you writing letters, petitioning, things like that. That just sounds like that kind of thing that you would have to do.
Maybe get all of your neighbors to sign something.
It sounds like kind of what you're doing in your area. You were telling me during commercial break about what's going on in Tequesta, about your pool, and everyone's watching your moves.
Yeah, I have to get basically our property rezoned. And if we can do this successfully with the help of the attorneys that are experts at this, then other people in the neighborhood are all going to be able to get pools too. It's for the good of the common people.
The good of the common people. She's out there fighting for you all.
Everybody who wants a pool should be able to have a pool.
That's crazy that there's so much drama about that.
I know,
you never even
right?
think that that's even a thing.
I've got plenty of space. It's not about a space thing.
Little municipal codes, it becomes a big thorn in a lot of people's sides depending on what's going on. HOAs make it even more difficult.
Man, my HOA, I'm still not in my new place because of a fucking plant in the courtyard. They had to take out this, I guess the last person there planted something, and now that's the only way I can get back in there.
It's a pain in the ass.
It's like, what? Take out the fucking plant.
And if you ever want to do
cut it down.
And if you ever really want to do anything to your house too, you've got to get permits and this and that kind of stuff, depending on who's doing it, what city you're in, can be held up, and it's crazy.
Overall, I understand. It's for the good and the safety of the people. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the things don't make a lot of sense. Like when you say, we've got plenty of room for a pool in the backyard, but we can't have one because of the way the property is zoned. It doesn't make a sense.
Oh, we're getting that water slide. If we're getting that pool, we're getting a slide for that thing.
Amen.
Yes.
Kind of a quick update. Earlier in the show, if you're listening to the regular show, we were talking to Dusty the Wild Man Crumb. He's the guy that's on the Guardian of the Glades on the Discovery Channel. He's down there, the one that's fighting the pythons. And he was talking to us about, he goes into the water, the murky water, barefoot. And he was saying, like, he got one, and he goes under the water
to get
the snake. And, they're coming after him sometimes. And so what he does, he'll bite the snake to kind of get the snake to stop trying to, constrict on him and take him down. So he said it's a big old fight trying to get some of the, 16-footers. I think that's his record, is a 16-footer. Which, can you imagine fighting underwater at night with a 16-foot python?
No.
While you're barefoot?
What if the python has like 2 friends with him?
They always do, Virginia.
You're screwed.
That's unreal. Do they? I don't know. The snakes fight in packs. If they do, that's even more horrifying.
Ask Indiana Jones.
Over here, buddy.
What would you be more afraid of, the panthers out there or the pythons? Face to face with 2 pythons or 2 panthers?
I gotta say Panthers.
You're more scared?
I think so, just because their size.
Yeah.
It's just a
Less chance, yeah. Pythons might be able to get away, and I think I have a better chance against 2 pythons than I do 2 panthers.
Yeah.
Those panthers don't play.
But either way, you're fucked.
Well, even the wild man was saying today, he does the Iceman trick where he just lays there completely stone cold, quiet.
And still.
Yeah, because even the wild man won't take on a panther, but he'll take on a python, so that tells you right there.
You imagine laying in a tent and a panther sniffing around.
Well, it's growling.
You hear it growling.
And he's like, I gotta wait till sunrise before the sky goes away. What?
I hope panthers aren't attracted to the smell of shit, because I would be covered in it.
I mean, what if you all of a sudden just made a big loud noise like, ah!
I would.
Oh my gosh, Kevin just shit himself.
You're right, the panther.
So I don't know. I gotta find out, are they attracted to or repelled by?
I'm really pissed if I'm in the tent with you and we're like trying to hide from the Panthers, and then now you've shit on us.
Yeah, but if they're repelled by it, you're gonna be like, thank you. And I'll say, you're welcome. I did that for the both of us. Yeah, in fact, Tom from Coral Springs, he watched episode 2 last night of Guardians of the Glades, who was on. You can see it on demand, but he took a screenshot for Jaybird. Check out Dusty the Wild Man Crumb's clipboard. You might like it there, the photo. He's got skunk ape sticker right there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he's a believer in the skunk ape, so he's probably down there in the Everglades looking for the skunk ape too.
Oh, yeah. Well,
actually, I know we should have asked him about that. He
forgot about that.
He's probably got a story or two.
I thought he'd be bigger. He's not I thought he'd be like a big burly guy.
That's what they said about Dalton from Roadhouse.
No, but you know what? Don't judge rednecks on their size. I will tell you what. We had the scrappiest, tiniest, meanest redneck ever. And fighting, nobody wanted to fight. He would climb up your back while beating the shit out of you. It was like fighting a wet alley cat. Like no one wanted. Even the biggest guys, like a Don Conley, would cower from this guy.
I've seen that kind of cat before, where they're smaller, they're scrappy, and they are knocking dudes out that are 3 times their size.
It's unreal. Yeah, rednecks are a fascinating bunch, and so never underestimate that wily, scrappy, because that's the one. Because you know what, they get picked on their whole life, and they've had it. They've just had it. So they've learned to scrap and to fight, and they know how to take down a big boy. So, yeah, I mean, he's not a small guy, but he's not, like, super big and jacked.
Right.
In fact, a lot of the big fat-ass farm boys couldn't fight.
They were too big.
Yeah, they couldn't. It was odd. There was a size and a shape. I think I'm pretty good. I've kind of learned a survival technique. I can look at a redneck and tell how badly they'll kick my ass. They'll all kick my ass, but I can look at him and be like, he especially would really kick my ass.
Sometimes the guy with that little bit of a gut that's got that guy will fuck you up.
Yeah, never know. They're an odd breed. Tough to judge. Just got to be careful. Got an interview, Ryan sent an email about interviews. He said, I'm 18 years old. I'm about to have my first job interview tomorrow. It's for an insurance company, and I'm real nervous. Do you guys have any pointers on how I can go out there and be confident? I'm a very nervous person typically, and when I get nervous, I start to stutter.
Oh.
My face also starts to get real sweaty looking. Any little tricks I can do to make this all go a little smoother? Do I try and make a joke? Do I play it straight? Do I compliment the interviewer? Any help would be great.
I think you should do a little role playing with your friends and family. Practice different scenarios, different questions. Let your friends and family throw things at you and get you comfortable with that on the spot situation. Yes. Practice makes perfect. It really does.
Preparation is key. You could probably go online and they have probably traditional interview questions that you might get and just know that well so that you can go through it with, it becomes automatic. And interviewing too, you're 18 years old. I wouldn't hang everything on one interview. You're going to have a lot of interviews. And, what I've heard is the more you interview, the better you'll get at it.
It's true.
So, at 18, nothing is, oh my gosh, my life's over if I don't get this job. So, you just keep interviewing. And if this doesn't work out, go on to the next one.
And go do some other interviews that you don't care about before the one that you do care about, maybe.
Yeah, lead on some other jobs.
Lead on some other people real
Apply
quick.
for a promotions department.
You want to get practice at it. Everything gets better the more you do it.
That's right, including masturbation.
Oh, you get so good. Probably a little too good.
He never leaves the house now.
He's a wizard. With his mind, he can just take care of himself.
I know how to press my buttons.
Hands free. It's amazing. So there you go. Hopefully that helps out. And best of luck with that interview. All right, boy, can you believe we're on a Thursday already tomorrow?
No.
Yeah, right. And
joke jury.
Yeah, joke jury. And another day closer to the Naked Mile.
Yes, baby.
Oh, yeah.
All the sexy you can handle.
Yep.
Drinking
Friday.
bullshit vitamin water. It's awful.
Hydrate, baby. Friday, 8 p.m., Swampgrass Willie's, Palm Beach Gardens. Be there. We'll see you then. And we're back tomorrow, too. Later.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.